Well, apparently Marvel Studios boss Kevin Feige provides more details on how he ruined WandaVision. So here we are at Bounding into Comics. And so there's a few more details out of his interview with Rolling Stone. And we know the brief part of it was that he got rid of Doctor Strange because he's white and male. It took him a while to notice that, but he did. And so at the 11th hour, they dropped him, even though they signed a deal with Cumberbatch to appear, and there were the fake commercials in the show was all about him trying to contact Wanda. So yeah, so here we go. And also interviewed in this was Jack Schaefer. You remember her? Yeah, she was the head writer of the show, who said she doesn't know how to read comic books and didn't know anything about any of the characters. Yeah, we know why she's there. But that's not on her. That's on you, Feige. So anyway, she, while discussing the show's in-universe commercials, head writer Jack Schaefer detailed that Doctor Strange did indeed appear in one of them. There was a version, she says, of the commercials where it was Doctor Strange trying to reach out to her. That was actually behind the commercials, and we moved off of that idea. Yeah, because... again, Feige noticed, hey, wait a minute. He's white and male. Feige then elaborated. I haven't talked about this before, well, since then, but I mean, keep in mind, this is all the same interview. But we had a deal with Benedict Cumberbatch to pop up at the end of WandaVision, or somewhere in WandaVision. Yeah, whatever. It doesn't matter, does it, Feige? Because we knew we wanted to connect them. Wanda's next appearance is in the second Doctor Strange movie, next year's Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. And wouldn't it be great? But as we worked on the show and on the movie, we realized there was no reason to really do that. Except that's how you hyped it, and she is in the movie. This is this is all BS. The main thing is that Feige now, in fact, Feige has been said, I think, like Beekler at Nerdrotic has said, Feige should have, after Endgame, should have retired from it. He would have gone out on top, and everything else that goes wrong is not on him. But now it is. And he wants to be liked by the cool kids of Hollywood. The cool kids of Hollywood hate superheroes. They don't like them. They like the money they bring in. They won't admit why that is the case. It's because all the other genres and stuff are flat and boring and don't have anything anymore. Comedies used to rule the roost. They don't anymore because it's almost impossible to do them in today's era, which they are deeply, deeply drowning in. And so that's why all of a sudden you get all these other directors who have nothing to do with superheroes or even action movies, for that matter, brought in for diversity higher points and that sort of thing. And it's going to create problems. And Feige, he knows better than this. This is all BS that he's doing. But he's surrounded by that. And in some instances, he has to, in order to keep this going, because you exist in that Hollywood world. But also, he wants the cool kids to like him. A man of his age, but that's the way it is over there, apparently. So anyway, he stated after Endgame, thinking, what can we do next? Disney Plus is going to give us this opportunity to tell even deeper stories with characters you already know and love in a new type of cinematic way that we haven't done before. We've already started shooting 2 of them, and we're very, very, very special. Oh, he was promoting this idea back in 2019. So yeah, that's the whole point. The big selling point of MCU is that it's the MCU. It's all connected. It's like a TV series at the movie theater, and that's how they did it. And it's the movie version of what Marvel Comics has been since the 60s. They cross over with one another. The characters know each other. Some event that can happen in one comic book could be a news item in another, and that type of thing, and have ramifications for other titles. And they would navigate that. And so the idea here was to repeat that in a movie version, which is what they did when they started with Iron Man and so on and so forth. And a lot of it was just cameos, but it was building to an overall narrative. And they successfully, there's been some bumps here and there, but they successfully did that and completed it with Endgame. But now, this story, you have to conclude that, oh, I want to get away from that or something, but at the same time, I want to stay in it. He's lying. So, you know, and it all, for the first time, will interlink. So the MCU will be on your TV screen. Of course, they did have TV shows that claimed to be connected, but there was a division there, and Feige and, was it Jeff Loeb or some other guy? I'm forgetting now. Yeah, they didn't like each other. And there you go. That's why it didn't connect. Stupid, but that's why. So, but now, you know, obviously they're doing that because that's basically what this was a TV series. And it all connects. Because keep in mind, what's the origin of this story? The Vision died. He didn't come back. You know, he died in Infinity War. So you don't get him back. She loved him. She doesn't have him anymore. Her grief is so powerful, and it opens up her true capabilities of her power, which is far more powerful than she realized. And it creates this fake world that she's dwelling in where he's alive. You know, and that's what happened there. Makes perfect sense that someone like Doctor Strange would notice this. And that was the story, but took it away. So then Jake Schaefer added some details. One of my favorite ideas was that in the Nexus commercial in episode 7, it would kind of be a blink and you miss it cameo, a quick image of Doctor Strange as the pharmacist in the background. I was very inspired by Fight Club when Brad Pitt's character is on the TV in the hotel. Like, if you're looking closely, you'd see it for just a second. We were like, the Nexus commercial is her subconscious. What if Strange is in the background and trying to reach her? But ultimately, we decided in favor of Wanda's own story. It's all Wanda's story, whether it's Doctor Strange shows up or not. You know? You shoehorned Monica Rambeau in, who should have been your Captain Marvel, but yeah, boy, I tells you what you know. Screwed that all up. Oh, we don't want to talk about that. And then Agatha comes in, who was a part of the story, but that's not what she looked like. But anyway, there, you know, just having another character in there is, unless you don't believe in your Wanda character. Now, Wanda started off interesting and intriguing and stuff, and Elizabeth Olsen's performance was good. Her chemistry with Paul Bettany is excellent. They're a great team. But the story fizzles at the end, and no matter how good they are, if the story fizzles, there's nothing they can do. Plus, you just gloss over what she did to these people in that town, and then the head of S.W.O.R.D. just suddenly becomes a psychopathic murderer because you needed him to. You know, it's sloppy stuff. But your big concern was Doctor Strange can't be there because he's white and male. The plan when I came on board, she says, was there would, at the end of the series, be a handoff, and that's Doctor Strange's participation would amount to essentially a short cameo. So early outlines had varying versions of the two of them, Wanda and Doctor Strange, kind of riding off into the sunset to go, oh, come on. It's like after all is revealed and stuff, and he comes in, yeah, I'm going to help you out. And that's that. Then in the movie, well, part of that helping her goes terribly wrong. You could have made this. What's wrong with that? You know, one leads to another. And it causes even bigger problems than what she did here to a small town. And there's no way around it. You did this to her. You made her basically a villain. Now, it's a part of her grief and her suffering. Obviously, a mental breakdown. And you could explore that. But you just left it there, and having Monica Rambeau suddenly said, these people have no idea what you suffered. No, they're kind of hung up on what they suffered. And she did this to all of them, including their children. You missed that? Yeah. So anyway, we wanted to fulfill Wanda's agency. Yeah. At the cost of her story, is what you did. So yeah, another problem was if Doctor Strange shows up just at the end, where was he the whole time? I did love writing variations of Doctor Strange, variations on those final beats. It was a pleasure to write for him. There were versions where she was flying past the city limits and then encountered Doctor Strange. That kind of thing. but you just couldn't figure out how to write him into the story because, it left up questions. The obvious thing is he couldn't break through her barrier. He was trying to, and it took a while. Eventually, he does. There. That's not hard. There's nothing here. So, Feige explained that they had to do a rewrite for Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of and this is the worst news. So, Doctor Strange's sequel is the one movie that I was excited about going forward. The rest of them, not so much. I'll see what Black Widow's like, but that's just a prequel. Nothing else does. And now this. Apparently they had a plan, but we got to adjust it now because you screwed up WandaVision. So now, because they're supposed to be connected, and they still are, but they're not, but they still are, but they're not. So unnecessary. So he told Rolling Stone. So that meant we had to reconceive how they meet in that movie. And now we had a better ending in WandaVision. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. And a better storyline in Doctor Strange. Well, that remains to be seen. But why is it better? Because you changed the manner in which they met. It's probably nothing more simple than she's messing with the Darkhold and he senses it out and encounters her, and that's that. But anyway, that's usually how it works, which is lay the chess pieces the way you want them to go in a general fashion, but always be willing and open to shifting them around to better serve each individual one. Well, you didn't do it this time around. Don't know if Doctor Strange being in it would have been better, but it sure shows a show that fizzles when this had to have been some 11th hour type shenanigans going forward. When you're all set up and you actually had Cumberbatch signed to appear, and then okay, never mind. Oh my God, can we have a white man tell a woman what to do? Ew. So, okay, I'll get rid of it. So interestingly enough, while they nixed Doctor Strange cameo from the commercial, as well as how he and Scarlet Witch would meet, they did keep the claymation ad from episode 6, despite it not being tied to Wanda's consciousness. Yeah. Well, he goes in the idea of having claymation was just so exciting. So, he thought it looked cool, so keep it in there. Even though it's supposed to clue in with Doctor Strange, but now it doesn't. Okay. What do you make of this? Well, I think it's stupid. And you go back to the original reason. At least I respect the honesty. It would have been so cool to see Doctor Strange, but it would have taken away from Wanda. We didn't want the end of the show to be commoditized to go to the next movie. It still is. And then he's like, here's the white guy. Let me show you how your power works. Took a knee, huh? It's stupid. But he did it. So there you go. That's why, because woke rules rule. And that's what the cool kids want in Hollywood. And Kevin Feige wants to be with the cool kids at the cost of his own product. And as far as he's made his money, so what difference does it make? But now he just needs approval from the cool kids. And, we'll see how that works out. Thanks for watching and listening. Say, while you're still here, why not like and subscribe and share with your many friends? Yes. Also, check out my mini stores in the link description below. Yes, where you can get t-shirts, hats, mugs, all those goodies with my artwork on them. Oh, yeah. And head over to indieplanet.com and pick up a copy of my comic book, Night Night. Oh, yeah. You can also catch me at my podcast, Mr Nailsin Show, on RadioMisfits.com. And you can also watch my videos on BitChute.com and now on Rumble.com. Oh, my goodness. So many places to watch me and my stuff. Oh, yeah. And if that's not enough for you, well, you can follow me on many social media platforms and say hi to your old pal, Mr. Nailsin.